How do you build and structure both the ad copy and the sales funneling process for your e-commerce store? Yo, what is going on, everyone? Hayden here, coming back at you with a brand new video. And in this one, we're going to be kicking off probably the first of, I believe it's going to be a 3-part series on, essentially you can think about it as everything to do with the text on your Shopify store. There's a lot of different things to talk about. The process we funnel people through, the psychology, the actual mindset, rules behind this when it comes to sales and persuasion, and all these different biases that we use in every single ad. So with that being said, I'm going to lead it off with what's in these 2 bowls right here. What is your favorite? I'm just eating some fruits here during the morning. We've got regular red grapes. I don't really like the green ones. And we've got some beautiful strawberries. If anyone wants them, I'm done. I already had a ton of them. But in this video, this one's going to be primarily based around ad copy. I have got the little whiteboard right here, the handy dandy board, to go through and outline this exact process, because it's a 3-step process just to not even do the ad copy, but to lead into that, okay? The ad copy is actually the middle step in this 3-point process that I've kind of explained, but I want to break that down and really dive in depth on the sales funneling process. So before we kick off this series, if you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel with the button down below and make sure to turn on the post notifications so that you don't miss these back-to-back banger videos on all of this, and feel free to check out the rest of the content as well. We're gonna kick this off. I'm gonna go through and explain what this 3-part process is, and we're actually just gonna be focusing on the middle step because, I could spend an hour talking about each of these, but I'm gonna break it down for you, and really we're just gonna focus on the way that we're structuring the sales funneling process. Because with e-commerce, and I don't mean, using ClickFunnels or whatever, that's not what I mean by funnel. The process someone follows is considered a funnel. So for example, I was at a car dealership the other day. I walk in, I'm entering a funnel. Think about it like this. I walk in, the lady at the front desk, cute blonde, she's like, hey, before you can look around, basically making it seem like before I could even look around, because it was like kind of more exclusive, not even just a luxury car place. Before I look around, I have to give her my information. Then from there, I go and browse a little bit, and then someone comes and assists, make sure that they can close the sale, and they push me through their process. So every single structure, every business, they have a process. You walk into a restaurant, there's a process. You either wait to be seated, you sit, you order, whatever, and then your food comes. So think about it like that. It's the same stuff for dropshipping. So this is a 3-step process. And again, we're just gonna be focusing on this middle one here, which is the ad copy, all right? But can anyone guess? I know I've mentioned it slightly and I've not broken down most of this or even almost any of it, but what are these other 2? All right, the third one, I'll give it to you. We're gonna talk about this in tomorrow's one. Descriptions. I'm gonna go through and give you guys some live examples in that video, but what's this first one? All right, it's a shortened version of this, but not the same. Okay, this is your ad copy, and descriptions. This is what we're gonna focus on, all right? So we're gonna focus on the ad copy. Let me break this down first before we even do that. The ad, I'm not talking about like, oh, you're targeting the Facebook, what Instagram influencer. That's not the ad, that's your method of marketing. The ad itself, I mean one of 2 things, your picture or video. If you wanna use a GIF or whatever, the GIF, whatever it is, what they're seeing. That's that visual flair, if you will. That can, however, have a piece of not necessarily the ad copy, but something that leads into that. So there can almost be like if you want to consider it a 1.5, all right? This is something that just goes in the middle where, for example, let's say you have a picture of a bracelet that you're trying to sell, and on the picture you actually write something that says free shipping or free bracelet today only, something that builds in to this ad copy point, which is what we're going to focus on here with the sales funneling process. This little part halfway through is added onto either the picture or the video. So the first thing they see, and this is part of the sales funneling process, they enter the top of your funnel. How does someone enter your funnel? And again, I don't mean ClickFunnels funnel or any sort of sales funnel actually directly. This is a process, okay? It's a process funnel, not just a direct sales funnel. So with this, someone enters that. How do they do that? They see your ad. Well, what is that? That ad is either a picture or a video. Primarily, if you're doing personal branding and stuff, it's a video. It can be whatever for your e-commerce store. So they see that. Well, then what happens after that? As long as they're interested, it looks appealing, whatever it is, then they're gonna go to this next point. They're gonna do the ad copy. They're subsequently and subconsciously gonna read this 1.5 step if you have some sort of text on it. They naturally see that even if they don't try. That just their brain absorbs that text. So from there, they're going to read their ad copy or your ad copy, which means they're more interested, okay? To actually see this, you know that they're interested. There's no way that someone's going to see your post, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever platform. There's no way someone comes across it, scrolls down, and reads for 20 seconds if they're not interested. So to actually get to this point, that's very important because now you actually have an interested customer who's starting to go through this, which is why I'm focusing on this video so much with the sales funneling process. You lose so many customers who don't even go to your website. They legitimately don't even click because you lose them here. This might have been great. Maybe you have some sort of freaking instant hair curler bun machine. You got something that clips your toenails in 0.3 seconds. I don't care what it is. It might be really interesting. But if you lose them in this process, you're not even going to get a chance to go to here, which obviously we're covering tomorrow. There's a lot more we're going to go through. So with this process with the ad copy, I like to think of this as a 4-point structure. And this is built off of this, all right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. First thing they're going to see, and again, this is still the actual ad. So this is on the platform, and I'm going to make sure you guys can see all this. I'll zoom in on it once we're done. But this is the process while it's still on the platform. So if they come across us on Facebook, they're still on Facebook. They have not left the platform that they were currently on. So that means they haven't taken the big leap of trust. This is what you're building up to with this, which I'm going to explain here in a second. So they have not gone to your website yet. The first thing you have to do, and this will ensure that they complete the other 3 here, you have to hook them, all right? How do we do that? You guys, this is not an offer, okay? That's actually going to be a different point inside here that we're going to talk about. This doesn't mean, today only get yours for 97% off and you marked your bikini up to $300 and knocked it down to $20. That's not what it is. You need to actually get them interested. You need to speak their language, and this comes based off audience research, as to what they're interested in. You need to solve their problem. This product, you're not selling a product because they want it. You need to sell a product because they need it. How do you spin it so that you're solving their problem? For example, let's just run with the bikini example for a second. Let's say you're hooked. You have a 2-piece normal bikini, whatever girls wear, all right? Now, their problem, I could only imagine that you could create. You can create your own problem as long as it makes sense. Something about bikinis not quite fitting right or hugging your body lines or whatever, just, it's not lightweight, it's unsupportive, whatever it is like that. You play into that in 1 sentence, all right? 1 sentence, and we'll give you guys some more live ad examples, as we move through this different series on YouTube, where I'll actually show you some ad copy that I've been doing recently that's working. Okay, I'm going to show you that structure as well. It's how it's evolved over like the last year or two. But it's just a 1 sentence followed by an emoji. Okay, I'm just going to do a box for that one with an E. Emoji, all right? You guys know it what is they called? Emojicons? Emoji, whatever. So that's a little visual flair added on top of that relates to the hook. So you need to make sure that process, and you guys will see that in an ad example later, but the hook, okay? This is where you actually ensure that they're going to read the rest of this information. So this is why it's so crucial, because now you're going in, and I actually just had to explain this to someone on the phone today for a client who couldn't figure out how to write this, and now their ad copy is freaking flawless, all right? So look at this. You're going to have to go through and do what's called describe with subtle pitch, okay? And this is not where you're pitching. For those of you who do sales, I don't mean you're telling them your direct pitch. It's subtle. Nobody's ever subtle with how they sell. Trust me, subtle sells, all right? Especially since when you describe. Let me give you an example. This is the example I gave a client on the phone. All right, let's say you're doing carbon fiber sunglasses, all right? You got some crazy, whatever it is, carbon fiber sunglasses. You're going to talk about how they have some sort of adjustable, bendable, some sort of flex fit to fit any facial structure. They're lightweight. You'll forget they're wearing them. They're a hand wove carbon, weave, whatever it is, where it literally describes a little bit about the product in like 1 slightly longer sentence, maybe a little bit of a run-on sentence, where you're explaining the specifics of the product, not all the little crap that that's what the description is, which we're up here, that we're going to talk about in the next video. Well, that's building off of this. So you're leading into that. You're hitting them with the most interesting points that makes the product sound so freaking unique and attractive that they can't turn it down. So this one is huge, making sure that you have this in place, because as you lead into this, you're going to hit them. And for you sales guys or whatever, this is not just your straight offer. You're telling them what's going on, okay? You need to, while you're writing this, don't think, all right, here's where I sell them. Oh my God, am I going to structure it correctly? Don't think about selling it. Think about solving their problem, okay? You're selling someone, whether it's a service, it's a product, whatever, you need to focus on the customer experience, what their problem is, and fixing that. I personally believe that that's just the right mindset to go into any business environment with. You need to give and not ask, okay? So even though you did all of this is just the basic layer one, okay? We're gonna be diving way more in depth on this. But describing all of this, from there you're gonna move in to your offer, okay? I'm not saying pitch, you're not selling, it's your offer. So for example, this is something where, as we move in, you guys know about retargeting and all this stuff. Not everybody buys when they first see your offer. You need to constantly follow up, do all that. A lot of people will take it when you follow this structure. However, this offer is something where you actually lead into what it is specifically. Say, order today and receive 75% off plus free shipping. And you could do one of those shocked emojis that goes, something like that, okay? Where it shows a little bit of what's going on. And you're basically, if you do an emoji like that, that's how they're reacting to it. So you're basically subconsciously, and think about this for a second, this is part of the sales funneling process, you're implying and implementing that they're gonna think that way before they get the chance to think about how they wanna think. You want to put that in them. So for example, if, this is just back to the salespeople stuff, you wanna constantly do small affirmations. So if you're in a sale and someone's talking, you're nodding, you're smiling, you're agreeing, and even if they're talking about a problem, you're showing that you understand, you're showing that you know what's up. You want them to think a certain way and be positive. It's the same thing here, okay? So if you want to do another emoji, that would go right here. I see too many people doing a couple of simple mistakes. They're sending the emojis to the beginning of the sentence. I do it after because you want the picture. You ever heard the thing, a picture speaks 1,000 words? It's very true. So an emoji is a mini picture. You want that to be at the end of what you said, and it has to actually relate. So just because you say something about a bikini being great, don't do a shocked emoji there because that doesn't directly relate to the product. You would do that on the offer because, oh my God, what a crazy offer. We've never done it before, right? And so from there, and please don't go overboard with your emojis. There's people who put like another 2 right here. They're going to put 2 before and then here, which is where we put the link /access. Then they put 1 and another 2 and another, like some bullcrap. Okay, no, get rid of those, all right? So on this fourth point, this is where I know this got a little bit messy. Again, I'll hold it up for you guys to see in a second. This is their link /access. Here's the thing. Most people make one version of their ad copy. Now, I don't mean constantly refining it and doing things to improve it and increase conversions. That'll probably be the third video in this series, and there's so much to go into that more than just your ad copy. But this specifically, you need to make 2 different splits. Keep this the same, the first 3, but this needs to change depending on what platform you're running it on. So let's talk about the 2 primaries. We've got Instagram and we've got Facebook, all right? I'll make sure you guys can see this. Again, I will be holding it up, relax, we're just talking through it. So with the link access on Instagram, and the SD card just got full. But anyways, you can't actually put a link on Instagram that's clickable. So a lot of people are making the mistake of sending both the same traffic on Instagram and Facebook to the same actual ad copy. And the problem is if you're doing the Facebook method, which is where you would say something along the lines of click here, I'm gonna write this out, click here to claim yours, and then you can do the =, arrow, whatever you want to do, and then send it to your link. If you were to do that Facebook structure and run it on Instagram, it's going to do one of 2 things. First of all, it's going to serve no purpose because they can't actually click that link, and it's just going to look extremely sloppy and unprofessional, which pretty much ruins everything you just worked for and structured. So that's why I recommend splitting this up on the 2 different platforms. You can still run it if you want to do it on the Instagram way, which is where you say click the link to claim yours, which would imply the shop now button, whatever. So if you're going to do that, make sure you have that added on Facebook. But this essentially, let me know if that made sense, because you need to follow this specific process as you're funneling people through. Again, they are entering the top of your funnel. This is the freaking magic portal where they come in and boom, they hit this 1, 2, 3, 4, done. Do they want to leave this point and go to your website? I don't know. Let's find out. Follow along in this series. Again, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell and everything. I'm going to be continuing on this series, breaking down a lot more than just this, but this is a simple funneling process. So let me know any questions, comments, things you guys want to see or are having struggles with when it comes to the direct marketing efforts of your e-commerce stores. And with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like down below, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow in the next one. Peace.